If the Biden administration has taught us anything, it's if you fail, redefine your reality.
And amen. And boom, shakalaka. Can you give the Lord some praise in here today?
Remember when you were kids, you were playing basketball or with someone or baseball or something, and your team actually won the game, but then the team that lost said, no, you didn't. No, you didn't. You didn't win. I won. Well, what do you do with that? You're like, but wait a minute, here's the score. I mean, here's the rules. We beat you fair and square. But the other guys were like, no, actually you didn't. We won. We won, you see, and then they'll come up with some reason, some excuse that redefines the whole game, and all of a sudden you're supposed to go with it. That is exactly what the Biden administration is doing to America and what they've been doing over the last year and a half. You can start with the pandemic. We were told to follow the science, but the science kept changing. It went from not masking to not masking to double masking to triple masking. It went to you don't need a vaccination, we're not going to vaccinate, to vaccinating. And then they changed the term of vaccination. Because a vaccination, once you got that, you weren't not supposed to get the virus again, right? Well, they changed it because it didn't work. They failed. Another big fat failure was the pandemic in and of itself. I mean, how do you find pandemic? They would often talk about the great pandemic, the Spanish flu of 1919, that wiped out how many millions of people. They promised that the COVID virus was going to kill hundreds of millions of people. It didn't. They came far short of that, and yet they still stuck to the term pandemic. They're still sticking to the term pandemic. They have virtually redefined pandemic to be anything that the CDC or WHO says it is. We can say the same thing about invasion. What we have happening right now on our southern border is nothing short of an invasion. You got 2 million people that have rolled into this country from all over the world over the last year and a half. We have services that we can't, they're being overwhelmed. We have cities on the border towns that are being overwhelmed. We now have New York's mayor and we have Bowser, the DC's mayor, complaining that they're overwhelmed because now we're dumping our illegals on them. Next step, we should probably dump them in Martha's Vineyard or something like that so that they will get the message. At the end of the day, though, it's an invasion. And yet you have the administration saying that it's not. As a matter of fact, you have Alejandro Mayorkas over Homeland Security saying the border is secure. They've redefined invasion. They've redefined border security. What is an insurrection? We went through a whole summer of cities on fire, cars being torched, and it was called a mostly peaceful protest. Well, you know what? That's how you could describe what happened at the Capitol on January 6th. Mostly peaceful. As a matter of fact, you have videos showing the police officers saying, come on in, right this way. Was there violence? Yeah, but now we're starting getting more information about who was really behind that virus. At the end of the day, though, was it an insurrection? Well, in light of what's happened in places like Venezuela, what happened recently in Sri Lanka, no, we can see on TV what a real insurrection looks like when the government flees. We can even see what an attempted insurrection looks like. This wasn't that. It was a peaceful protest gone awry. And look how the left is handling it. Look at all of the investigations. Look at now they're even talking about bringing charges up against President Trump because he didn't do enough to stop it. So many questions so many roads I can go down with that one. But at the end of the day, it's simply this. They redefined what an insurrection is. And of course, right now, they're redefining what a recession is. When you've had 2 cycles, when you have negative growth, that has been a recession for the last, 100 years. Now all of a sudden that Biden is in office and you have all of his accolades running out saying, no, well, technically that's not really what a recession is. There's a lot of other variables that go into this. No, a recession is what a recession is. And you have the mainstream media that's out correcting the Biden administration on that alone. But here's the point. When you fail, you just lie and you just give a redefinition. You just change the meaning of it. Oh, we had a peaceful, successful withdrawal from Afghanistan. No, we didn't. It was a debacle. It was a disaster. 13 lives were lost. But now we have the administration talking about it was textbook. It's what had to happen. Now, this administration is redefining terms. And I forgot the biggest one of all. The Democrats, the Biden administration forgot what a woman was. Even the latest Supreme Court nominee did not know how to answer the question, what is a woman? She said, well, I'm not a biologist. Well, why? Why do we have such a problem with that? Well, because it runs afoul of their transgender agenda. See, once again, the Democrats get caught up, so they have to redefine reality, and we're supposed to go along with it. Not doing it, not having it. But you know what? You got to remain strong because you've got the media. We're talking full Orwell here. You've got the government. You've got corporations. You've got, tech, social media. They're all trying to reshape your reality. Don't let them do it. I guess to quote the Democrats during the Trump administration, we're part of the resistance. Continue to resist. My name is James T. Harris. This is my YouTube channel. Go ahead and subscribe to it. Hit that notification bell, and every time a new video goes up, you will be notified. Until we meet again, let's go.